Good morning. About myself, I'm a Samil Raj, Assistant Professor, EEE Department, Ahmed University. Now, I'm going to discuss about transformers. We are familiar about transformers. We have seen transformer in our distribution lines. The simple diagram shows the power system network and our transformers. Now, first one, introduction. What is a transformer? The transformer is a static device that changes AC electric power at one voltage level to another voltage level through the action of magnetic field. So the transformer is a static device which transfers electric power from one circuit to another circuit without change in frequency. The transformer is a static device which transfers electric power. Corresponding increase or decrease in change in voltage levels. Constant frequency remains constant. The primary side, if the primary side is 50 Hz, secondary side also 50 Hz. There are two or more stationary electric circuits that are coupled magnetically. So the transformer is a static device which transfers electric power from one circuit to another circuit without change in frequency. The definition. The next one is that two highly inductive coils. Electrically separated, magnetically linked through the common magnetic path. Two highly inductive coils, electrically separated and magnetically linked through the common magnetic path. It involves interchange of electric energy between two or more electric systems. We know for our generation side and distribution side, we need to change the power from one level to change the voltage level and or change the current level from one level to another level. That means finally which transfers electric power from one circuit to another circuit. Transformers provide much needed capability of changing the voltage and current levels easily. We know. So you step up the voltage, corresponding decrease in current. They are used to step up generator voltage to an appropriate voltage level for power transfer. Stepping down the transmission voltage at various levels for distribution of power utilization. So we can step up purpose and step down purpose. Corresponding increase or decrease in voltage. Next question. Can we use the transformer in DC supply? The question will be arises like this. Not possible. Answer is not possible. Why? The two highly inductive coils here. Two highly inductive coils, electrically separated and magnetically linked. In our transformers, inductance high means XL is equal to 2 pi FL. XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Our 50 Hz AC supply is given, XL consumes some value. XL consumes some value. If XL consumes some value, our impedance becomes R plus JXL. There are two highly inductive coils. Inductance high, but our impedance becomes high. The current is limited. If DC supply is given, the highly inductive coils, frequency 0 means XL becomes 0. It is low resistance coils. Highly inductive, low resistance coils. So low resistance means our current becomes high. the transformer will get damaged immediately. That's why it is a reason we cannot give DC supply for your transformers. So this is our introduction point of view. So transformer, how to classify our transformer? We have a number of windings. Two winding transformer. Two winding transformer, normal conventional transformer is two winding transformer. Primary winding and secondary winding. Primary winding, which is primary winding, we have two windings. Wherever the supply is given, that is primary winding. Wherever the load is connected, that is secondary winding. That is a two winding transformer. And auto transformer, what is auto transformer? Only one winding. Primary and secondary supply and load is connected in the one winding, but the taping is provided. Other more than two windings. In terms of number of phases, we know single phase transformer and three phase transformer. Depending on the voltage level at which the winding is operated, that is step up transformer and step down transformer. Step up means in our generating station, we are generating the power voltage power at 33 kV, but we need to, for transmission purpose, we need to step up from 33 to, nowadays we are using 400 kV or 700 kV lines. How to step up? The procedure is step by step procedure. From 33 to 66, 66 to 110 kV and 220 kV, like that. We will step up from 33 to whatever we needed. Similarly, for distribution, receiving end, we need to step down. For this purpose, we are using transformer. That's why the transformer is according to this, depending on the voltage level, which is divided into type step up and step down transformers. Step up transformer and step down transformers. Up till now we have discussed simple primary. We have a transformer which is having two winding transformer. Conventional transformer is two winding transformer. So the two highly inductive coils is electrically separated and magnetically linked. So the two winding transformer consists of two windings interlinked by a mutual magnetic field. That's why I told magnetically linked. The primary winding, which is energized by connecting it to an input source. The secondary winding, to which an electrical load is connected and from which output energy is drawn. So wherever the load is connected, that is secondary winding. The supply is given to the primary winding. The simple diagram shows what is primary winding and what is secondary winding. So transformer, initially we will start from our studies from ideal transformer, ideal case. What is ideal case? An ideal transformer is a lossless device with an input winding and an output winding. It has the following properties. So the ideal transformer, which is of the primary winding and secondary winding, and in our transformer we have only two losses. One is core loss, another one is copper loss. We will discuss again regarding losses and efficiency. But now, for what is the condition for ideal transformers? For ideal transformers, no iron and copper losses. Suppose practically it is having iron loss and copper losses. No iron loss and copper losses. No leakage flux. A core of infinite magnetic permeability and of infinite electrical resistivity. The flux is confined to the core and winding resistances are negligible. If it is negligible, loss-free core. Loss-free core. So the efficiency, input power is equal to is not possible, but we will start from ideal case. Then we will start one by one. If resistance is available, what will happen? If inductance only available, then we will start from our studies one by one. Then how to calculate our efficiency and regulation. So the ideal transformer is a lossless device with an input winding and an output winding. Already I told. So if the supply is given, it produces a flux. The flux will complete the path through the secondary winding. The relationship between input voltage and the output voltage and between the input current and output current is given by the following. That is like this. Primary voltage by secondary voltage is equal to secondary current by primary current, because V in I is equal to V in I. Vp Ip primary side is equal to Vs Is secondary side. It is not possible practically. If you write this equation, we can get the constant values like this. Now, for an ideal transformer, include our, so Vp by Vs equal to Is by Ip is equal to Np by Ns. Np by Ns. This is our transformation ratio. The transformation ratio says the primary winding turns by secondary winding turns is not equal to primary winding current by secondary winding current. Note this. Np by Ns equal to Is by Ip. Vp by Vs equal to Is by Ip is equal to A. That is a transformation ratio. Here Np, what is Np? Number of turns in the primary winding. What is Ns? Number of turns on the secondary winding. What is Vp? Voltage applied to the primary side. What is Vs? Voltage at the secondary side. A is a turns ratio. Now, the simple relationship is derived. Finally, our transformation ratio is equal to E2 by E1 or N2 by N1 is equal to secondary side by primary side is not equal to the current secondary side by primary side. Now, the power in an ideal transformer is real power P supplied to the transformer by the primary circuit. That is, input side is primary supplied. Input power, the P in is equal to Vp Ip cos theta, cos phi. That means primary voltage, primary current, and power factor in the primary side. Real power coming out of the secondary circuit is VSIS cos theta S. Suppose if both equal, that is no loss free core. So the input power of an ideal transformer is equal to the output power of an ideal transformer is equal to the input power for an ideal case. This is also satisfied for your reactive power also. Now, already I told for our transformer, highly inductive coils, but the resistance is low, inductance is high. But the total result is combination of R plus JXL. R plus JXL. R is the resistance, XL is the inductance. So we can transform the primary winding equivalent values to secondary windings or secondary windings values to primary winding for make our calculation easier. Because if you find the primary calculation separately and secondary calculation separately, finally we will add to find the resultant. To avoid this, to make our calculation easier, transform the values available in primary to secondary and secondary to primary, we can make our calculation easier. Now, the diagram says the impedance of the primary circuit is at dash L. Impedance, first one, impedance of the load. Impedance of the load is Vs by Is and secondary side, because secondary side Vs by Is. Impedance of the primary circuit Vp by Ip. Voltage in the primary divided by current in the primary. Now, Z dash L, we can write the simplified formula with the help of transformation ratio is equal to A square ZL. A square ZL. So the impedance of the primary circuit is equal Z dash L is equal to A square ZL. Like this, we can transform the values into primary to secondary and secondary to primary. secondary to primary. And theory of operation of single phase real transfer. Practically, what is happening practically? Practically, the supply is given to the input side, load is applied to the secondary side. If the input supply is given, it produces one flux, that is primary flux or no load flux. No load is connected. This flux is passing with the help of this laminated iron core, passing from primary to secondary, links with the secondary winding, and again return to the primary winding. Return to the primary winding. So only one flux. Now, what happens if the load is applied? The load is applied. To manage the load, it takes more current from the supply. More current from the supply. So one more flux will set up. We need how much current? To manage this load, extra current is needed. To circulate this current, this much amount of flux. So more current is taken from the supply. This current produces one flux. This flux equal to the load, extra current taken from the secondary side. So here one more flux will set up. In secondary side also one more flux will set up. The two fluxes are equal and opposite. That's why during loading condition also, the net flux available for your core is only no load flux. No load flux only available. So that's why the core loss in the transformer is always constant. Is equal to the no load input. Is equal to the no load input. The copper loss only varying. Depend upon the current taken because of the load. The current flows through the primary winding, which consumes some current. The current flows through the secondary winding, which consumes some current. So the current, the primary winding and secondary winding depend upon the load. That is, in the primary side, I1 square R1. The secondary side, I2 square R2. The copper loss. So the copper loss only varying. Only two losses. One is copper loss, another one is core loss. The copper loss is a variable loss. The core loss is a always constant. Now, so the total flux, the primary is calculated like this. Primary side, mutual flux plus flux available in the primary winding, like this. So that means pi P, total average primary flux. IM, flux linking both primary and secondary winding. Pi LP, primary leakage flux. Pi S, total average secondary flux. Pi LS, secondary leakage flux. So the next one is magnetization current. So what is magnetization current? When an AC power source is connected to the transformer, a current flows in its primary circuit, even when the secondary circuit is open circuited. Already I told. The secondary circuit is open, supply is always given. The load is connected, more current taken from the supply depend upon the load. But during open circuit condition also, to maintain the flux in the core, input is given always. That's why when an AC power source is connected to the transformer, a current flows in its primary always, even when the secondary circuit is open circuited. This current is the current required to produce the flux in the ferromagnetic core and is called excitation current. It consists of two components. One is magnetization current, another one is core loss current. That is two component, core loss component and magnetization component. So the no load component is divided into two component, magnetizing component and core loss component. See this simple diagram. I naught is combination of two current, core loss component and magnetizing component. We see this diagram. The core loss component is in phase with the voltage, primary voltage E1. In phase component, that is which power responsible for power loss. Im is a proportional to the flux by. So when AC power source is connected to the primary of a transformer, a current flows in its primary circuit. Even there is no current in the secondary. The transformer is said to be on no load. The secondary current is 0. The primary current should be 0 too. However, when the transformer is on no load, the excitation current flows in the primary because of the core losses and finite permeability of the core. So the excitation current is divided into two components. One is magnetization component, which is current required to produce the flux in the core, which maintain the flux in the core. The next one is core loss component. The core loss component, current required to make up for hysteresis and eddy current loss. What is core loss? Combination of hysteresis loss and eddy current loss. Hysteresis loss and eddy current losses. Next one is equivalent circuit. The equivalent circuit, if the equivalent circuit is understand easily, we can calculate the efficiency also. The losses that occur in the transformer have to be encountered for an any accurate model of a transformer behavior. That is, what are the losses available? Copper loss, eddy current loss, hysteresis losses, leakage flux. These are the components required to draw the equivalent circuit. So for our equivalent circuit, simple equivalent circuit, in the primary side supply is given, which is divided into two, no load component and primary current. The input current is combination of, suppose the primary current IP, no load current I naught, and one more component is needed, that is I2 dash. What is I2 dash? It is equivalent to load current. So the I primary is equal to vectorical sum of I naught and I2 dash. I naught is flowing in the magnetizing component, magnetizing side, that is two components, core loss component and magnetizing component. Remaining current is flowing in the primary winding. Similarly, the secondary side also. So this is a simple exact equivalent circuit. This equivalent circuit, from this equivalent circuit, we can find one approximate equivalent circuit. That is, can transform the primary secondary values to primary or primary value to secondary to make our calculation easier. To find resultant equivalent resistance and equivalent reactance, to find the copper loss easily. In this way, to make our calculation very easy. To find the losses, we are going to conduct two tests for our transformer. One is open circuit test, another one is short circuit test. From the open circuit test, we can find our core losses. From the short circuit test, we can find our copper losses, total copper losses and total iron losses. So once losses is known, we can find our efficiency. That's why the losses, the transformer efficiency is output power, not output by input. Output divided by output plus losses. Otherwise, input minus losses divided by input, like this. Write exactly including the losses. Output divided by output plus losses may be written like this, or otherwise output is written like this, input minus losses, both are same. So the efficiency nearly equal to efficiency is nearly equal to 100 because loss is very less. The next term is regulation. If the load is applied, secondary voltage is down or some voltage is drop. The voltage regulation is nothing but no load voltage minus load voltage divided by load voltage. In this way, we can find how much voltage is dropped. Our regulation value is very high. The transformer is not in good condition. The regulation value becomes low value. That means that is our transformer is in good condition. The drop is very, keep it our transformer, drop is very low. So this is our transformer efficiency. So thank you so much.